So, here we are.
Hi.
SoHza in the back of our speakeasy at SoHza Sister in the SoHza Lounge. And we are circling up here with the Brenda Potts from CoziNests. Our resident artist,
Jen.
and basement witch. We also have Miss Jen Bryant here. In the back you're going to hear. She should be sitting with us, but right now she's just here talking.
She's helping
with
us. Yeah.
You guys come in and wave. So one of the things that I love about this that we're going to be doing is sitting down with the people that we love and talking about real life. And those of you that know me know that relationships are everything to me. And this is one that I cherish.
So much.
It's one of my people. So Brenda is creating light and love and art right here in this space every day. And if you're in here shopping in the store, a lot of times you can hear her sawing and grinding and creating and stirring her brew and bringing light into the world up out of our basement. And I feel super, super, super blessed to have you.
Same.
And what's fun about us sitting here in these chairs is that this is not unlike what we do a lot.
No.
We sit here and kind of connect about what's going on with us and our lives, and some of it's, really great and good and helping each other plan and helping inspire each other, and some of it's like, shit, it's hard.
It started, I'm just going to say this, it started when just organically from the old store. She had this little tiny free office in the back of the old store on Main Straws before she moved into this amazing space. And we would cram into that little office, and all of us, and we would just talk, and we would dream, and it was such an amazing thing. And then she just expanded the little tiny office into this great community. SoHza Lounge.
A lounge.
The lounge. So literally, I was lounging. I was so exhausted, and they had this amazing event last Friday. They had live music here, and I was so tired. And I came because I wanted to help celebrate Debbie's birthday and Star's birthday and other people's birthday. But I had had an exhausting day with my grandchildren, and so I literally curled up on one of the little couches here, took my shoes off, and listened to this incredible little band that you had. This little musician. It was wonderful.
And that's how, what?
Tunes and
I
Shelby
know,
and
my Shelby and Sam. It's been a fun
such a
week.
huge difference.
What was Sam's? Let's give a shout out to Sam.
Sam Wittenberger.
Sam Wittenberger.
And he's an original artist and songwriter, and he's quite gifted, and I've known him for a long time.
I put him on my playlist, and I've been listening to him since.
He's so wonderful. And you know what? This community space, we've kind of drawn in people that we love.
Yeah.
And so Brenda has, she's our, as you heard, our basement witch and resident artist, one of our resident artists, and she has CoziNests. And we talk a lot about our story and how SoHza started, but what I think is amazing is kind of how similar and how we pull in people that have similar missions and really are about, making the world a better place. Those of us that know you, all of us in the world of Brenda, is that you are a huge light in this world. And so what I really want you to do is kind of talk about a little bit about how CoziNests started and how your light and your kind of vision for bringing light in the world and is branched you into this wonderful world of creating art for all of us. So how did it start?
Well, I'm going to just say this really quick. Before I go into how it started completely, I want to say one of the visions of SoHza Sisters is bringing people together and creating space for people to grow, and that is what Debbie has done for me. I really don't know that I would have been able, I know that I would not have been able to grow the way that I have if she hadn't made space for that. And so I am deeply, deeply grateful for that. But so it started, so her sister Melissa was my neighbor. I'm going to just say that. That's how we connected. And BFF, one of my BFFs. Anyway, so it started because I had 2 children that I homeschooled. We adopted them from Russia when they were a year old, and I homeschooled them, and so I was just with them all the time, 24 hours, 7 days a week, and I loved every minute of it. I was not even close to being prepared for what life would be like when they grew their wings and flew the nest, and it hit me hard. I've talked to a lot of women in this space who really struggle with their children moving into adulthood, and that shift that coincides with the shifts in life, with the changes in my body and all of it. And so it was Jen's taking notes, writing notes, and I can't read her writing. The pandemic world events, yeah.
Yes.
So my kids graduated in 2020, and it was just, with COVID and everything, it was just such a crazy time for everybody. But I recognize now, even though we grow through hard times,
Right.
We have.
You and I talk about that all the time.
We talk about it all the time. It's like being grateful for the difficult times, because it's in those difficult times, if we take a minute and stop and look around, we can figure out what the lessons are that we need to take away from these hard times and grow through them. And my gosh, it was one of the biggest growth spurts that I think I've ever been through, was that time. But it was beautiful, because I had put so much of my intention and effort into my children, and then it just, like, all this space opened up to that for me, and it's like, what am I going to do with this?
And you were an artist, like you were creating. So the one thing to know about Brenda is that Brenda's always creating, always painting, always creating. So and that was a lot around your children, right? And
but I wasn't doing it. I was homeschooling. You have to use a lot of creativity for that. Plus, my husband, like, years ago, lost his job, and when he lost his job, I was like, what can I do to help financially for our family, since I was, staying home with my children, it wasn't like I could go get a job. So I decided that I was going to learn how, instead of going out shopping, I decided I was only going to buy ingredients. So I learned to make everything. I learned to make candles and soap and laundry detergent. I learned to make mascara and deodorant and everything. It was like, instead of, when I had to buy something, it was like, can I make this?
That's amazing.
That's how it, and so I've been doing that ever since. Kind of like I'm a little homesteader.
Right.
And,
so the candles, so one of the things that, you sell candles and you make candles, and we're going to go into it in a minute, like what all goes into a candle, because like one of the things that I think, we're storytellers, and it's all about connecting, is that like every detail is thought out.
Yeah.
Every detail in every little thing that you do is not only, it's it's on brand with you. It's all about light and happiness, and you kind of feel who you are in everything, you know, but also there's thought. Your thought goes into every inch of that, you know, and I think that is a big part of also of who you are, that of people that inspire me, is that you kind of live your values. You know, just so you know, I took a week off and went to Florida to get my, you know, settle down after the holidays. I mean, it was a rough holidays. In the retail world, I'm not, you know, we talked about that today. It was a rough freaking holiday. It was hard.
I lost my mom, and I'm just gonna say this.
Yes.
I'm just gonna say this. So my mom died just like maybe a week or two before Christmas, and I was, of course, it's so hard, so I'm like all of a sudden just thrown into this, you know, having to make hard decisions, and so I had, my mom lived like 4.5 hours north, and so I went up to the funeral, and my beautiful friends from here came to my mom's funeral and to support me and in my time of grief, and it was, I can't, I mean, that was, I had some snot crying there when I found out that they were coming.
What? I mean,
but it's just, that's the community. That's the community that's here, and I am so grateful for it. Like, so grateful.
and we're grateful for you, because honestly, you're light. You live light. So when we were in Florida and I was recovering, I've had a rough, it's been rough here in SoHza. You know, we're not gonna just sit here and talk about, and you know, but the tariffs were hard.
Yeah.
Retail was hard. We've worked harder to make less money. We have a lot of responsibility to all these co-ops that we've worked with for a long time, and our artists, and it was just a hard, and you know, the world's hard. The world's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard right now. And so I took that week, and last minute to go to Florida. I was gonna go by myself, and I called Brenda, and within was it 2 days? She jumped on a plane with me, and we.
Somebody's calling my phone. Just hit that little red.
It's okay.
It stopped it.
Okay.
It stopped my video. Yeah. Stupid
Rude.
Dennis. It was my husband.
Dennis.
I
You
love
love
Dennis.
Dennis.
That's stupid. Not
Dennis.
stupid Dennis. I love
Dennis,
him.
you
So
know.
go ahead and hit live.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
good. Okay.
Oh no. Oh well.
We'll just start another one. It's
Okay.
okay.
So Brenda got on a plane with me, and we went to the beach, and we talked, and we did maybe almost kill ourselves.
We did
Sinking
try to kill.
in a
Yeah.
canoe. In a kayak on
Yeah.
the ocean. But
Yeah.
other than that,
I was attacked by a swordfish.
Oh.
You never told me about that.
Let's just say, here's the thing. Brenda is light and love, but her beach and ocean knowledge is a C minus. Okay? Sand etiquette, C minus.
Yeah, no, I'd say that.
Sharp knowledge, C minus. Oh, but we laughed so hard.
So hard.
We did. So hard. And I came back and I was like, and I know most everybody knows that I'm a widow, but I came back going, you know what? My light is dimmed. It did. It dimmed over grief. And I'm like, God, I'm gonna spread my life like Brenda every day. And
Remind me to be you.
Oh, remind me to be you. I need you to be me. So that I can be you. Oh my God. That was funniest.
That was a funny. So my sand knowledge. I would get up and move my beach towel, and sand would just blow all over her.
And it was all day. about half the day I didn't say anything. And then finally I was like, okay, listen. When you stand up, you look for where the wind is.
She should have moved.
And then we just laughed. It would be like just always going. We had so much fun.
It was fun. It was so much fun. Yeah, it was just a total last minute thing. But one of the things that Debbie and I both have our brand of neurodivergence, and so it makes life super interesting when we're together.
And Jen was here making sure we're safe now.
Yes.
How many times did we say?
We need Jen would keep us alive.
Jen would keep us alive.
Yeah.
But that is what it's about: is
Yeah.
community
Yes.
and friendship.
Yes.
And we spent today a lot. Like today, we came in. We're both doing planning for this year. We're both talking about what we're gonna do.
I'm optimistic. I am optimistic for the coming year. And even though like the world is crazy, I think like we were just talking about, the humanity is like a person, in that we have to go through some really hard growing pains in order to learn the lessons that we need to learn. And I guess I feel like there's a shift. I feel like there's a major shift that's happening, and I really feel like we're going to come out the other side better. I really feel that way.
And connection's never been more important. And I think,
100%.
like right now, just the difference of like even today talking about things, like there is a difference between going through stressful times and going through hard times alone. And I've been doing a lot of working on, my choices to be alone, and kind of the payoff for that, and making, looking forward in my life, why community and relationships are so important to me. One is that life forced me to ask for help in a way that I never had, and because of that, I have relationships that I never would have had. I wouldn't have had the relationship that I had with you and Jen and my sisters even. Those relationships changed. And the community that I have, if I hadn't had the gift of leaning on them. And I do think that right now the stress that we're in the world is forcing us and gives us an opportunity and a gift for reaching out to one another more than we ever have, pulling into community. And I think that's why we feel positive about it. Right?
Yes,
It's because I do think those relationships are closer.
And like I said earlier, creating space for those relationships to grow and blossom is I get just super grateful. I have so much gratitude for the space that we are all living in. It's amazing. But so we were talking earlier about the shift, and you were saying about how the year for a lot of small businesses was really bad with the tariffs, and
I mean some people are saying it was worse for them than COVID, and it really, and I am gonna with that. It was hard here.
Yeah.
But it was also beautiful here. We moved into this space.
Yes.
We created this community. We've had a lot of beautiful things.
Yeah.
It was a hard last quarter. It was a busy last quarter, but we made it through it. Mm-hmm. And I do think this year, I'm taking a lot more time to prioritize where I'm going to bring my energy.
Yeah.
I'm editing down.
Yes.
Same. And I'm thinking about what's really important.
Yes.
And what's really our mission. Where can we really serve a purpose?
Yeah.
And
I think January. Yeah. Go ahead, Jen.
With everything coming at us in today's world,
they say that editing is like the quintessential skill of the 21st century.
That is
and I just
exactly
think
where
that's so true.
That is exactly where I'm
Yeah.
at. So just like back to to my we were talking earlier about business, and I was like, okay, so I'm going to really tighten up my just for example my fragrance list for my candles, and I mean all of these little details of the artistry of the things that I'm doing. I'm just streamlining everything and making it intentional, super intentional. But I had an okay year last year. This is only my third year, so I feel like, and I said this to Debbie,
Yeah, right on.
that I feel like if I had an okay year and it was harder for like most people, where would I have been if it was not, if it was a regular year? So I do feel optimistic about the future and especially streamlining everything.
It's so great.
Well, we were saying now that AI is everywhere.
I'm not going to say that AI is Brenda's best friend, but I compete an awful lot.
I need my AI.
I hope that bitch doesn't turn on me at some point.
I asked my AI. It was like because I was looking at it's the beginning of the year, so it's like I want to look at what's coming up, and I was like, what can I do to make my website better? I have like no online presence. I'm terrible at that. That's my worst, absolute worst. That's where I need help with. That's the thing I need help with the most. And they looked at my website. AI looked at my website and said, well, you need to build trust, and you need to do your About Me page, and all of it. So I started working on that.
And you can't believe what she created. I was like, it was so beautiful. And I would love to show some of Brenda and I's beach ideas. I got to come back and implement, and it's because, you create.
Yeah.
And you create stories and telling your own story. I thought it was so beautiful. You read it to me today.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh. It was beautiful. The way you connected who you are, what you're doing, kind of your brand story with your whole mission and your whole,
Yeah, it really is for me about spreading light. So Jen and I met in 2015, 2016 time frame, and we met. We met through politics, and it was a hard time, for us, and there's just a lot of stuff that was going on at the time, and I just made a shift during the time of when my kids were graduating and I was empty nesting. That was such a huge time for me, and I just recognized that I can't change the world. The only thing I can do is change me. And so I really started
snapping.
Yeah, I really started focusing on I'm not trying to be I'm losing my words. I'm not trying to be a cliche, but it's like being what you want to see in the world.
Right.
And so I decided that I wanted to grow my light so I could shine a light for other people that needed some brightness, I guess.
Without a doubt.
And so that's been my whole goal. And this is just a vessel. This is just a bridge or an avenue of how I can do that. So on my candles, I put my art. So I not only do I take wine bottles. Cheers.
Right
here. I take wine bottles and I cut them down, so that's helpful to. Yes, cheers, Jen. And that's helpful. That's super conscious of
What are your values?
All my
Sustainability.
values. It's
Yep.
all baked in, so that the wine bottles are repurposed, and then the wax and everything is it's all intentional. Everything is, even down to the little stripe strip on the back with the scented matches. I guess my point is that the details matter, and I believe that we can always make magic in our lives. We can whatever we're doing, we can make it magical. I think, my opinion, and I think that if we all do that, if we all try our best to try it to make a little bit of magic where we can, then the world will only just be a little bit brighter for everyone.
No, without a doubt. That's right. Oh, I love you so much. I love you so much. I love you. And, we have our little SoHza custom candles that Brenda does for us, and the original art she does on each of them. And, this to me is kind of one of our signature items, and we have a little, a Brenda CoziNests section of art, and what I look forward to is just not only, having your candles for everyone for Valentine's Day, great Valentine's Day gifts, just saying Valentine's Day, but also just being an avenue for you and a place for you to create and share all along.
Yeah.
And it's kind of been it kind of started with you, where we've really moved a lot towards shop local and local artists, and because to me, connecting women for change and being on mission, there's kind of nothing more than you. This is you are right on with your brightness and your light.
So it really is about lifting each other up, So, for example, my studio mate, Mary Bar Rhodes, who I love, her talk about sprinkling magic. She leaves little trails of fairy dust everywhere because in her paintings, her paintings just are so sparkly and glittery, and so when you go down to the studio, you follow this trail of glitter all the way down, and she's just like this little fairy that just sprinkles fairy dust everywhere. But so she does events here. It's one Sunday a month.
Yes, the first Sunday of every month we have brunch and blessings. It's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
It's this Sunday. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that I love is that we're sitting in this, and what you can't. This is one part of it, but it's a circle, and it's a circle where women can come around together, and community space. And one of the things that we, what we love, one of the circles that we have every single month is Mary hosts a circle, a brunch and blessing. It's the first Sunday of every month, and we have brunch food and champagne and coffee and tea, and there is sound healing, beautiful.
Sonia Verma.
Yes, I mean, incredible. And then we do a circle, we do a meditation. Mary leads a meditation, and we can kind of come together.
So what I was going to say about lifting each other up is for brunch and blessing, I made a whole specific label just for Mary, she likes to light candles for her brunch and blessings, and so I just did just designed a label for her, and I think that it's important to do things like that, to say to you or to Mary, I see you, I support you, and I want to help you. It's not something she asked me to do, or it was a gift, and because she's a gift to me. And just like Star, this is the thing that's just one of the things.
Can we just talk about?
This is one of the things that I find just to be so freaking beautiful. So Jen and I were friends, and then I brought her into this circle because I knew that this place needed Jen, and
Absolutely.
and Jen, there's so much that she has to offer, and
Absolutely.
she's just like this freaking rock star powerhouse. Anyway,
But also mindful and sweet
of course.
and grounded
All of the things.
and goodness.
But
yes.
but back
all
to
of that.
so I have like this Venn diagram of friends, and it's just so, I feel like Cincinnati is like such a small town in so many ways, you know. But I knew Star when my kids were little, like in first, second grade. She was part of this Mommy and Me, you know, group that I was in. And then I met Melissa, who was my neighbor, and I found out that Star was friends with Debbie and Melissa. And I was like, you know,
Star used to write for our magazine.
Yeah. Well,
Like she used to tell the stories of SoHza Sisters.
Yes.
Like I met her. I mean, Star's an incredible writer.
yeah.
And
She's just all of that in the bag of
Yeah.
chips. I mean, she really is. But she also does a
Bam.
monthly circle.
Yes.
Yeah, badass manifestation circles here. It's they're having one. Jen's pointing to her nose.
I know. Listen. All right.
I keep looking
I know. This is why we need her,
Yes,
right?
she keeps us on track.
Yeah, we have Brunch and Blessings on the 1st, and then we have BAM.
Mm-hmm.
And BAM we're doing about quarterly, or maybe twice a year. But we get, BAM is Badass Manifestation, and it's Star. It does facilitates a whole meditation around women manifesting what they want. And like, this is something that women, we just don't do enough in our lives. And
We're so busy giving to everybody else.
Star is a bright little star in my life.
Her name is very appropriate.
Absolutely. And she started out doing BAMs in our old store in the little room, but I went to one of her manifestations, or BAM manifestations, years ago.
Yeah.
And that's where the whole idea of where I knew I wanted a community space. It's where all of this came from. It's
Yeah.
really from Star.
That story is just amazing.
I know.
That is like a magical story in itself.
Yeah.
You know, she literally wrote out the roadmap of what she wanted this place to be years before it happened, and then and then she manifested it. And it is a beautiful dream. And
I
it's a beautiful-
manifested you.
and it is a beautiful reality.
Jen. So listen, friends, we want to do this often.
Yeah.
We want to start having real conversations and being a community for us to come together and be authentic and have real conversations and be a real support system to each other.
I want to say before we go, I have got to. This has been a distraction. I'm going to show this to you because it's important that you see this. Whoops. Oh, shoot. Look at Bob. Look at Bob. Is he on there? Can you see Bob? He's just sitting there with his tongue out. I had to show you.
Love Bob.
Okay, I'm going to finish.
I know, Bobby. Well, listen, you guys, we're going to do this often, and we want to thank you for spending time with us.
Turn this around real quick, because I showed it on my phone, but I didn't show them on this.
Okay.
Bob, turn to the
Okay. There's Bob. There's Bobby.
You guys tongue out.
There's Bobby. That's Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
And listen, my friends, from me, Leo, Bobby, Brenda, and Jen.
Jen, come over here, Jen.
Come on in, Jen. We want to thank you guys for tuning in with us. We love you. We appreciate you. We do. And we cherish you. We are so grateful for the community that we have.
So grateful.
We are so grateful.
I
Cheers.
love you guys. Cheers.